Namaskaram all. Last time we ended the episode with the life of Eknath, precisely about the departure of Eknath Swami. Now we are going to start the chapters one by one. So the first chapter, I just want to give you a gist of the first chapter, what all we are going to see in that. The story of King Parikshittu and glory of life of Lord Shri Krishna, his plan to destroy Yadava race in order to relieve earth of the burden of the arrogant people, destruction of the race due to the anger of Brahmin, manifestation of Musil, that is the pounding rod in the stomach of Samba. Yadavas pulverized the rod and threw the dust into the sea. The dust grew into grass. A piece of iron was swallowed by a fish. The fisherman catches the fish, cuts it, finds the iron piece and uses it as a sharp edge of his arrow. So this is just a gist of the first chapter. Everything is given in points so that people can understand better. So we start with a prayer. Salutations to Sri Ganesha. Salutations to Ma Saraswati. Salutations to Sri Guru. Pranams to Sri Dattatreya. Pranams to the Divine Rukmini and Panduranga. My salutations to respected Sri Janardana, who is none other than the Amsa of Lord Ganesha and Guru of Sri Eknath. In your being, that is Ganesha, there is no concept of beginning or end. By discarding the duality of I and you, I bow down before your feet in the state of unity. O Sri Ekadanta Gajanana, I also bow to you. In the present, you are making manifest the multiplicity in unity, yet you are not disturbing the unity. That is the Advaita, which is the non-duality. That's what he means here. You are called Lambodara, meaning having a big belly, because within you the whole world, both moving and stationary, exists, and therefore you are really the nearest to all the beings. The family life of the man who gets your glimpse becomes happy, and therefore the name Vignaharta is becoming you very aptly. That is, it suits him aptly. That's what it means. O Ganaraja, that is the king of Ganas, your face is just joy. To look at you is joy. All the four accomplishments of human life are your face, arms, and your tooth, which shines, gives light to the luminous bodies such as stars, planets, etc. The Vedas and the Upanishads are attached with love to both of your ears, and all the four kinds of speech, that is the Para, Pashyanti, Madhyama, and Vaikari, are standing with folded hands in your mouth. Means they are at his command, at Ganesha's command. That is the Para, Pashyanti, Madhyama, and Vaikari. O Vinayaka, your vision is such that by its power, the whole world is seen as Atman and is divine and gives happiness and contentment. Your belly is big, which is full of joy. There is joy also in the navel and the girdle around your middle, which is called Nagabandhu, is enhancing your beauty. You are wearing the white cloth of Shuddha Sattva, that is pure, and the golden ornaments on your body are appearing beautiful because of the beauty of your own body. Prakriti and Purusha means the female and the male aspect are your 2 feet. You have pressed them down under your body and seated in the natural easy posture. You're very graceful in your completeness. If even for a moment we have the fortune to look at you, calamity is not found though we hunt for it. This is because of the spade in your hand which destroys the bondage of worldly life. You pull by your crooked goad such devotee who is very dear to you, and freeing him from the disaster of worldly life, keep him safe with you. By giving the sweet modaka, which is joy itself, to your devotee who is really desireless, you give him real ecstasy of divine joy. You are easily established in the smallest object, and therefore the objective mouse rider is very properly fitting for you, Mushika Vahana. If we observe carefully, you are neither man nor elephant, thus you are beyond the visible and the invisible. Knowing you to be beyond any modification, means vikara, I most respectfully salute you so that you may help me in writing this book completely. This Eknath is telling, but now I am praying to Lord Ganesha that I should do my best with the grace of all the gurus and the Almighty Lord Ganesha to help me render this small service of mine in reading this Eknath Bagavatam to you all. So I am praying to Lord Ganesha and gratitude to the universe to have selected me and make me do this. Thank you, universe. Thank you, all of you, for listening to me. First of all, who is the me who is bowing before such Gajanana, who though a non-doer has become the expander of the story of this book? Now I will bow before Goddess Saraswati, who is the very image of the power of discrimination between the essential and unessential, and who inspires the tendencies of all the sense organs. She is the teacher of speech, the illuminator of intelligence, and the giver of light to the light, herself being self-luminant. She is the inherent power in the body of Lord Shiva, just like vision in the eyes or the juice in the fruit. Similarly, her relationship with Lord Shiva is beyond logic and without beginning, just as there is sweetness in sugar and fragrance in the flower. The sweetness of the Atman is infused in 4 kinds of speech with its greatness, and therefore the goddess Saraswati, who is the presiding deity of speech, makes it possible for the reader to experience the good taste of the meaning of the book. In the world, there are men of wisdom who are really the swans, dividing the essential and unessential, and on the back of such swan, this deity rides in an uncanny, unimaginable posture, which appears to be very relaxed at the same time. Those who have attained the high rank of Hansa can really understand the nature of this goddess who is riding on the Paramahamsa. But those who are stupid, dull, unlucky cannot even see her, though she is very near. I would just like to mention, Hansa is a yogi who has gone up on the ladder of the path of Nivritti. Nivritti means withdrawal. 4 rungs of initiations, and Paramahansa is the master yogi who has escaped the chain of births and deaths and is fully liberated. The word stupid is used here for ordinary people who are bound by desires. If we try to understand her character or her nature, she is without form, but at the same time the whole universe is her form, and it is she who makes articulate the exquisite content of the books like this Bhagavatam. When we say these are good words, we use words only. Similarly, when we praise this goddess of speech, we use speech only. This is like a praise of the speech by the speech. That great goddess, who is of the nature of the playfulness of speech, who is beautiful in all respects, dwells within me, is also outside me, and makes it possible for me to tell equally the beautiful meaning of this book. She is always pleased, as is her very nature to be happy, and therefore the commentary has become colorful. But she has taken extreme care that I will not be proud of being the speaker. Here, the goddess of speech is praised by speech only, and therefore there is no scope for duality to enter in my mind. She has destroyed the speech, the act of speaking, broken completely the silence of muteness, but she has brought into expression the commentary in such a way that she has made articulate that which cannot be put into words. When I set about to bow before such goddess, by separating myself from her, the sense of I-ness, together with the Paravani, disappeared. Where there is absence of I-ness, where is the scope for the sense of you? Even then, somehow she is filling the great blessing in the argument concerning the subject matter. Just as there are waves and waves of water arising continuously on the sea, here on the reality itself, the words which are also of the nature of reality are arising like waves. Just as the grains of sugar are not different in sweetness, the words of commentary being impregnated with the juice of Brahman are also not separate from the juice. There, as the sense of joy of Brahman has put together both the sense of I and the goddess Saraswati in one single plate, wonderfully enough, the serpent Shesha has given a belch of satisfaction, who is himself the state of non-duality. And thus only the words of the whole story are being expressed through that state. Now we shall bow to the saints who, like the clouds of inward joy, pour the joy on the people who are harassed by the problems of life and thus making them happy and cool. These saints are the ornaments of energy, or the decorations of the spiritual wisdom, or the God's own beautiful temple of residence. Or they are the vision in the eyes of even the satisfaction of that vision, or are those in whose toe of the foot even the satisfaction itself is satisfied. These saints are such that those people at whom they look with kindness are freed from fear and calamity, and for them the absolute Brahman stands clearly visible of its own accord. They do not care much about the four qualifications of sadhana or for the play of erudition of scientific knowledge, but only plain devotion and purity of mind is sufficient to invoke the light of their knowledge. So this is very important. The qualifications of a sadhak should be pure devotion. That is the main gist of this. They live in the world and every creature looks at them, but people are misled by doubt and due to their disbelief say that the saints do not exist. Really speaking, the world is at a loss because it does not trust and is deceived due to doubt. For instance, Ekalavya, the son of a Bilha, made a clay image of his Guru Drona, and by faith only he attained mastery in archery. If we put our trust without doubt in our mind in these saints, and if by devotion and determination put our heads at their feet, there will be no shortage, for the inner Atmic power and self-experience will be evident in our life. Trust and surrender. This should be our motto. When we most respectfully bowed before them, they established immediately our unity with them. But it is our duty to remain their servant as if we belong to them. The comparison of the enjoyment of the state of Brahman falls short of the sweetness inherent in the service to these saints, and only those who serve them with individual faith can taste the real sweetness of the state of Atman. The saints are beyond the Prakriti, that is the creation, remain within the creation, but they are not blemished by the forms, the modifications, and the activities of the Prakriti because of their free state. They are not averse to enjoyment through senses and do not glorify their sacrifice, but remain eternally in their natural state. They do not flourish their wisdom and knowledge, nor show madness. They swallow the pride of having attained reality or the forgetfulness of everything in that respect and remain in their ease. The waves of love which arise at the time of self-realization die down in their own body. Similarly, the ecstasy and wonder which one feels at that time is also forgotten, and the worldly life and the spiritual life have become one. But even they do not remember all these things. The memory went away, taking with it the loss of memory. The body became merged in the body itself. The division of the inner and the outer was wiped out. But they do not remember whether it is gone or has remained. So, with this, we will finish this episode. Let us discuss more about the first chapter in the next episode. Thank you all. Namaskaram. Jai Guru Datta.